It had reached that point where I had almost given up because I was not sure whether I was able to, because he wanted her to go into a emotional trance within this song. Now that cannot be acted out, that has to be felt. It's like a scene, but it's a song. In a relationship, a partner demands a little bit more attention. This was not the case. Like Ranbir totally understood that, listen, this is the film, and I totally understand that your mind is so consumed that was extremely supportive to me. If somebody would have told me before this that, oh, there's a 2.5 minute song which you've just shot in one car without the camera moving, I would have been like, don't talk nonsense, go home. But this has happened. I love that shot because it's like, it says so much about the person that she is. You know, when Sir gave that idea, I was like, how, yeah, sir? Like, how do you come up with these things? When Sir, you were saying it, kept saying, gaadi mein, meko gaadi mein gana karna hai, gaadi mein gana karna hai. I was not understanding what he was saying. Then finally, this is the last thing that we shot. Again, one of the toughest things that I have done as an actor.
वेल कहते हैं गंगू चांद है और जो शख्स इस वक्त मेरे साथ मौजूद है वो चांद से कम नहीं है. प्रेजेंटिंग वन ऑफ आवर मोस्ट टैलेंटेड एक्ट्रेसेस ऑफ दिस जनरेशन, आलिया भट्ट. Welcome, Alia. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
How is it like finally going out and promoting the film like, you know, old days?
I'll be very honest, I don't think I can do it anymore. I think that was a different time, promoting a film, and एक expectation उस time पे भी अलग थी फिल्मों को लेकर. You know, it's like a, oh, you go, you scream from the rooftops, everybody come and watch your film, this, that. Now it's changed. I think after sitting at home, we've all become very like isolated and like better to stay away and like just let things just happen for themselves sort of a thing. So I think I've moved into that phase of my life.
I want to know from you the fact that you've also spoken about it earlier, how working on a Sanjay Leela Bhansali set was a dream, like being a heroine for him. What was the experience like being on a Sanjay Leela Bhansali set? I mean, we've seen the grandeur and the magic on screen. So for you to experience it in person, I'm guessing it must have been amazing, right? Tell me a little about that.
I think, yeah, the more you imagine it, the more of the anticipation, like you build, ki aise hoga, vaise hoga, you try and paint a picture for yourself. But I don't think one can be prepared for the experience that you're going to have. It's it's very high output, high creative involvement that is expected of you on that set. It almost like time stands still. You have or time goes by very fast. There's no personal life, there's no other life. It's all about the film.
Yeah.
And as it should be. Especially when you're taking up a film, when I was taking up a film like Gangubai, it's a film which is, on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And Sir, but in terms of the output, it's all this one character. So I had to really give it my 7 billion% so that it's convincing.
Yeah, I think I saw one of your interviews like really long back where you talked about the power of manifestation and how you really like to visualize things. Do you think this is something that you visualized because you were supposed to do a film with Mr. Bhansali earlier as well, which did not come across? But do you think that you really manifested it and put it out in the universe and visualized yourself really working for him?
I did, and I also believe that sometimes, like I believe in the philosophy that you should command it, not demand it.
Yeah.
So I knew that the time would come when finally Sir would think that I'm worth his while, and that did happen. And when that does happen, it's a big plus point to show where you've arrived in your career. It's always said that whenever Sir works with an actress, he works with an actress when she's at the top of her game. So that is, because now that is something that is like in terms of legends, what they say. But when that happens, it genuinely feels that way.
Yeah.
So then you feel very like, okay, happy about something. That, okay, chalo, now I've come all this way. Now I can't mess it up. Now I really need to go into it. So yeah, that's why I think in terms of, importance of what this film means to me, it's possibly meant the most to me than any of the films. So far, not like I don't care about my other films. I love all my other films. But everybody around me can also tell the importance of Gangubai in my life.
getting a compliment from Mr. Bhansali in itself, I'm sure it must have been like, amazing. But this one thing that he said recently, I'm sure you're aware of it. I would like to read out this one sentence that he said, that if there is any one shot that I would want to play when I breathe my last, it is Alia doing the last shot from Dholida, because it is by far the best thing that I have seen any actor do in a very long time. I mean, it's much more than a compliment, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little about that. What was your feeling when you actually got to know about it?
There was a certain expectation he had from the end of that song,
Yeah.
which I was not able to get up until that one point. And by get, I mean I was not able to transcend. Now, till then, we had done so many scenes, we had done very many moments where he felt that I had gotten exactly what he wanted in the scene. So I don't think he was stopping because it's a song. Now, even though I feel like my command over a scene is much higher than a song, because I'm just generally a little bit more uncomfortable when it comes to songs. I was very determined to make that happen for him, but it had reached that point where I had almost given up, because I was not sure whether I was able to, because he wanted her to go into a emotional trance within this song. Now that cannot be acted out, that has to be felt. It's like a scene, but it's a song. But we did one more take, and I don't know what happened, something happened, and I was able to go to that space that he would expected of me. And that's why that whole shot is in one shot, because he wanted the audience to see that journey. And if you see, there are a lot of one shots he's used in the film. Even in this song that we just put out, Meri Jaan, even that there's a one shot. There are a couple of other one shots also in the film, because the way you see an actor transition in a one shot, you don't see in other shots. It may be a little bit, it's a different kind of tone, but it's more for the character, and you can see the character that way, and he went for that. So yeah, when he says something like this, of course, I get goosebumps and excited and all of that. But I've had so many of those, yes, we understood and we're on the same, we got what we were trying moments with him on set, that I feel it's more about that synergy. And even when people who are close to him and close to me have seen the film, their response is about the director-actor. It's a director-actor combination, this film. It's a journey that two of us set out on and to create this character. So that is something that we had to connect. And the kind of person that he is, you just said 222, and I'm like, I'm number 6. He's a number 6, even I'm a number 6. I keep telling him, so we both are number 6s, we both are waters. We both are water, and we have basically have flown through the journey of this film.
But speaking of songs, 3 songs are out, if I'm not wrong, the videos. And I think all of the songs have such a different vibe to it, you know, like how Mr. Bhansali has always, like, you just pick up any film and you see any of the entire music album that he's, put out. It's just like so many variations, and at the same time, they just bring something else to the, to the entire film. Tell me a little about your favorite song and what was it like, the musical experience especially.
So Sir's music is very personal to the film. It's not like Gana gaya, Gana dalo, hit Gana. It's not that. It has to be in tandem with the storyline, with the words and the moment. It's not just a song for the heck of a song. He doesn't do anything for the heck of it. Even a lamp is not placed in its position for the heck of it. That's just the way he functions. There's a lot of depth and poetry behind everything, and that's why he's an artist. That's why the number of films that he's made and the number of years he's been in the industry, 25 years, it's a long time for someone to be constantly killing it, rocking it, and just constantly being at the top of their game. It's not an easy thing to do at all. It's extremely unique. So even when it comes to his songs, they have to be unique. So like a song like Dholida, we are talking about a Garba sequence, but it's an emotional, angst-driven Garba. It's not a regular Garba, which in the film you see why she's angsty and why she's emotionally whatever charged. Even a song like the Jab Se Aaye, it's a montage song, but even the montage is, it's very unique. These two people are connecting, and it's a different, she comes from a different world, he comes from a different world, and you're seeing both their worlds, and it's like, it's emotional also, it's simple also. It's like, one of my favorite shots in Jab Se Aaye is, because Gangubai was a Dev Anand fan, is when she's looking at him and she turns the photo away. I love that shot, because it's like, it says so much about the person that she is. Even when Sir gave that idea, I was like, how, sir? Like, how do you come up with these things? As simple as putting the baraf in the sharbat.
Yeah.
That also would happen, pluck on the beat. That's one more thing that you learn from him. He doesn't want you to leave the beat for anything.
Yeah.
Then a song like Meri Jaan, which is like, if somebody would have told me before this that, oh, there's a 2.5 minute song which you've just shot in one car without the camera moving, I would have been like, don't talk nonsense, go home. But this has happened.
Yeah.
And when Sir was saying it, kept saying, gaadi mein, meko gaadi mein gana karna hai, gaadi mein gana karna hai. I mean, I was not understanding what he was saying. Then finally, this is the last thing that we shot. Again, one of the toughest things that I have done as an actor, and not made to, again, put a song. It's a scene, and there's a visual, there's an audio break. Instead of dialogues, there's a song. So you're communicating what you would communicate maybe through dialogues, but you're doing it with a song.
That's beautiful. Lastly, I want to know, you did speak about, of course, being on a Bhansali set is an experience in itself. So you must have got, mentally prepared beforehand, ki kya karna hai, kya nahi karna hai. You did talk a little about how you took tips from Ranbir, you called him up and you asked him. But Ranbir, your boyfriend, he's also worked with Mr. Bhansali. He made his debut with Savarya. Did you take any tips from him and, get into any insight? What should I do? What should I not do and anything?
Now, Ranbir is somebody who I interact with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sitting with him and taking tips, like, write in the notepad.
Yeah.
But I can definitely say that his presence of understanding through the making of the film was very helpful to me, because I had to kind of fly and go on this journey and like and my family, everybody is extremely understanding, but it's very different in a relationship. A partner demands a little bit more attention.
Yeah.
This was not the case. Like, Ranbir totally understood that, listen, this is the film, and I totally understand that your mind is so consumed. That was extremely supportive to me, that I didn't have to explain that, and that I know comes from his experience of working with Sir. Not only working with him as an actor, he also assisted Sir. So he understands his beats and his magic, and I would come back home and sometimes, being very charged up and like excited about the day, and I would narrate sequences to him and say, then I did this, then I did that, and he would understand every beat. So it was not like, it was not a tip situation. It was more of like, I'm happy I got to share that experience with him, and he's been that support through the making of this film, and even now when the film is releasing. So yeah, that's extremely helpful.
That's lovely. Lastly, if you had to say anything to the audience who's eagerly waiting to watch Gangubai, what would you want to say?
That please go and watch it. If you're eagerly waiting, then what are you waiting at home for? Go to the theatre and watch the film.
Well, I think this is the perfect film to actually go out and, finally watch it in theatres, because, the grandeur, I mean, you actually have to experience it in a theatre, not on your phone screens, all your laptop screens, because वो बदनामी होगी, वो बिल्कुल it doesn't make any sense. So I think it's amazing that Gangubai Kathiawadi is finally releasing on the 25th, and it's releasing in theatres. Thank you so much, Alia, for doing this. It was too much fun, and all the very best.
Thank you.